Ever get that feeling with a sentence? Like it feels a bit weird grammatically, but you can't pin down why. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something kind of hidden in language structure. Parasitic gaps. Sounds intriguing, right?
Yeah.
It's like finding secret rules for sentence building.
It really is.
So our mission is basically to get our heads around what these things are, how they work, and why linguists find them so fascinating.
Yeah, they raise some fundamental questions.
Like, can you have more than one missing piece in a sentence? What are the, invisible rules?
Well, okay, let's start with the basics. We're talking about gaps, places where a word is kind of implied but not actually spoken. A normal gap, think of who did you see, who started out after C, right? It moved.
Right.
A parasitic gap is like a second gap, an extra one. And it seems to only exist because of that first one.
Oh, interesting. So it needs the first one.
That's the idea, which makes you wonder, how many gaps can one sentence actually take before it just sounds wrong?
Okay, so it's not just about leaving words out anywhere. There's a logic. What are the rules then? When can these parasitic gaps actually show up? What licenses them?
Exactly. It's quite specific. You often find them inside what we call adjunct clauses.
Adjunct clauses, like extra bits of info.
Precisely. Often starting with words like before, after, without. So take a sentence like, which report did you file without reading?
Okay.
See, which report connects to file, but it also connects to the implied reading which report. That second connection is the parasitic gap.
Ah, okay. So the without reading part somehow allows that second gap.
It seems that way. These add-on clauses seem to give grammatical permission, sort of.
Right. That makes a certain kind of sense. The main sentence needs to be set up first. But can you ever have one of these gaps without that clear thing it's referring back to? The antecedent? It sounds a bit weird, like a shadow without an object.
That's a really good question. And honestly, it's still debated. Generally, the thinking is, yes, you need that initial moved element, the antecedent, to make the parasitic gap okay. But there are some tricky examples out there where the antecedent isn't quite so obvious, It makes us rethink things.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. I remember hearing about islandhood in grammar.
Ah, yes. Island constraints.
Yeah, these sentence parts that usually block things from moving out. How do they play with parasitic gaps?
That's a key point. Islands, like relative clauses, the book that I read, or certain questions, they typically stop elements moving out.
Okay.
And the surprising thing is, parasitic gaps usually respect those same rules. If the main gap is blocked by an island, the parasitic one inside usually is too. It suggests they're linked to the same underlying mechanism, probably movement.
But you said usually.
Well, yes. There are always wrinkles and exceptions that keep linguists on their toes.
So, okay, it sounds like not all these extra gaps are quite the same. I saw something about real versus pseudo-parasitic gaps. What's that about?
Yeah, the distinction comes down to how strictly they follow those rules, especially the island rules we just mentioned. Real ones, they toe the line, they respect the islands. Pseudo-parasitic gaps, well, they look similar on the surface, maybe, but they often don't show that same sensitivity, meaning they might pop up even where islands should block them, which suggests they might be formed differently, not by the same kind of movement, perhaps.
Right. And you mentioned different theories, movement and ellipsis. Can you give us the quick version?
Sure. So, movement theories basically say one thing moves and creates both gaps, the main one and the parasitic one. It's like one element leaves two traces.
Okay.
Ellipsis theories are different. They suggest the parasitic gap isn't movement. It's more like silent copying. We mentally fill in a blank that's identical to something already said in the main clause.
And this isn't just some weird English quirk, is it? Do other languages do this too?
Good question. And yes, it seems so. We're finding evidence for parasitic gaps in lots of different languages. Though the exact rules, where they can show up, what licenses them, that can definitely vary.
But the basic idea is there across languages.
It suggests there might be some deeper, maybe universal principle about how complex sentences work.
But hang on, do all languages have them? Or are there some that just opt out?
Well, we're still mapping the world's languages, of course, but it seems maybe not all languages do. Some might just use completely different ways to say similar things, or maybe their basic grammar doesn't create the right conditions for this kind of dependency to arise.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. Parasitic gaps. They're these second-dependent gaps in sentences. They need a main gap to exist, follow specific rules about where they can be, often in those extra adjunct clauses, and they have this interesting complex relationship with grammatical islands.
That's a good summary.
And while linguists have different theories of movement, ellipsis, it looks like it's a wider phenomenon than just English.
Exactly. It shows that even sentences that look simple can have this hidden, intricate structure underneath. It's pretty amazing, really, the complexity we handle without thinking.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If our brains are doing this complex tracking of silent parts of sentences, what other unconscious rules are we following all the time when we talk and understand each other?
Yeah.
Exploring these kinds of grammatical puzzles might just give us a deeper insight into how our minds actually work with language. Definitely something to ponder.